for Captain Smarts, Ojenie, Captain Smarts, so you'll be our fan of Unia TV. They be a doing some mahodra a Captain Smart, and this time around, Captain Smart, Aqua Pass, a Massa Bray, Media General Bill. It's a camera say Captain, the piano, I don't know, but it seems sponsors, not say sponsors now here, having queer and then that products no maker. But I'm trying to say deeper be more time because how come say every single blessed day Captain will just wake up from his bed, bebel with me on TV, insult and penny from Okuma anyhow without any punishment. But this time around, Captain not facing the meter. Yes, we're facing the meter. It's mess also becoming when I could in some hodo. I also my Ghana must but let's also be subscribing to Tattoo TV, you be like, you be commenting. Your comment section, we also back like your notification button for more news updates and more info. So we saw mobile share a link we are for. Now we also be recommended this channel, Tattoo TV, to a whole lot of people. No be when you also my Ghana must say, yeah, chair on you go to my sister. But that's.
He didn't take it.
What did you tell him?
I told him that he should be cautious in putting people's integrity on the line when his facts can be questioned.
Okay. Let's question the
because
facts.
You see, thankfully you are a lawyer. You made a categorical allegation on your program with Semi Jimfi that Rock City made losses in 2023. It turns out that Rock City has not even filed its annual returns for 2023. They have written to the GRA tax office, sought an extension for them to file their corporate accounts where you see their profit and loss and the taxes that they pay.
You clearly are not reading the document.
Please, I will come there. And I will expose the deception.
Please don't interrupt him. Let's hear him.
Oh, you go ahead.
They've written a letter to the tax office to extend it to end of June. So they haven't filed for 2023. So how do you determine that they made losses in 2023? You go and take this document.
Here, he hasn't said they made loss. He points out that they indicated that they were not going to make profit.
Yes. Read page 1 of 14 of 2023. Read it.
You see,
they went to GRA.
I recall when he said it. I said
this whole
making profit is not the same as making profit.
Exactly.
You see, withholding tax credit form. 12 February, 8 March 2024. This is the select
20th April,
assessment year. February, withholding tax all through. You go to page 2, withholding tax. Is it profit and loss?
You give me one.
Go to 20th April 2023. I thought
Samson, withholding tax.
No.
Withholding tax.
Okay.
Withholding tax page 3. Then you come.
Okay.
CIT, because the withholding tax, right, is what is used to offset whatever profits that you make. And so you look at the corporate tax income CIT totals. 543,791. He says this demonstrates that company has made losses. Go to the next page, PAYE. Then this is what they've paid January, February, March, and the total pay as you earn total for the up to May is 256. Then the next column, withholding tax.
Income tax. And you are talking about withholding tax.
Where is the corporate income tax? They have not found their accounts for
entry number 5.
Entry number what?
They went to the GRA.
Were you there?
Does it say so? Yes, 20th April.
What?
Why? Are you?
Read it.
Are you blind?
Read it.
20th April 2023. The process returns for 2023. Reference number C006446833 R001. They told the GRA they anticipate that they will not make profit in 2023.
You can interpret this to mean
yes, that's what it means.
GRA.
Yes, that is what it is. That's what the entry is.
Thankfully,
read the document.
Not a problem. You can do your propaganda.
I mean, you keep shifting the goalposts.
Look,
first you say I have nothing.
Because
there are no
you
documents.
Look at it. You see withholding tax totals. You see value added tax standard totals.
Okay,
this is the document that you are holding. NHIS Get Fund COVID-19 totals.
But the entry clearly says it's not going to make profit.
It's not going to make profit.
That's what he's saying.
No,
which I say is not the same as making a loss.
Yes.
Where does it say so? Unless I don't understand English. He says process returns for 2024. Does it say that I'm not making losses or I'm making profit? that the interpretation of these words?
That is it. That you will not make profit for the year.
Are you serious?
That's what it is. You haven't made profit for the first quarter.
But
you don't anticipate that you make profit.
In any event,
he speaks about the filing.
Yes.
He speaks about the filing which they went back to update.
No problem.
Where initially they said they were not going to make profit, and then went back and said, we think we are making something, so change that for us.
Okay. You are a corporate lawyer. You work with GRA. You work for companies that work with GRA. Mm-hmm. Every year they make an assessment of your taxes and apply it up front.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. So you can't go assuming, and I'm not speaking to this because I don't have the facts.
Yeah.
So you can't go and challenge the assessment that they made that, hey, per my operations.
You certainly can.
Yeah, you can.
Does it show that you are profitable or unprofitable at that point?
Okay, that's a point.
Because you can only establish the profitability when they file their annual returns.
The company you speak for,
and they have not filed it.
Where did they get their tax clearance certificate to participate in the bid? Where did they get it from?
Ask the issuer, not me.
You are speaking for the
because tax clearance,
he raised an issue.
They pay taxes, pay as you earn.
Where is the tax clearance certificate?
VAT, all of it is in the document that he is holding. Oh. This document that he gave me yesterday, you can have a copy and glance through.
No, but he's pointing to in May when they filed 2022.
See.
And in 2021, which was filed in 2023. So the question is, at the time they were putting in the bid, did they have a tax clearance certificate, valid one for the period?
But if it was part of the eligibility criteria, then you expect that, look,
it is always standard. It's always tax, ßreaks. They are always standard.
I agree.
Yeah. But we take them and we disqualify.
So for you and I, who only pay PAYE,
right?
If you go for a tax clearance certificate, it will indicate whether you've paid those your personal income taxes.
Right.
For companies that pay as you earn, who pay VAT, who pay NHIS, who pay all of that. They will indicate in the columns the taxes that you've paid on each item and for the period.
Only when you have filed your returns.
But you see, withholding tax is filed monthly.
We are not being fair to our guests on the line.
Is filed monthly.
Okay.
Your profit, corporate income tax. I'm speaking to facts. And you know it.
Please don't interject him that way.
Corporate income tax returns is filed annually.
Yes. That's correct.
And I'm saying to you, for the record, that the assertion that you made on your show with Sami Jemfi that in 2023, Rock City made losses is false. Okay. Had met it. EcoBank, obviously, because it's a big boy, had sufficient enough capital. But țhre took a decision that wanted to merge all the three. The only reason why First Atlantic was not part of that measure was because the chief executive at the time, Mr. Judata, had made a representation to the board of First Atlantic with țhre representatives, in fact, shareholders of First Atlantic, that look, he does not object to First Atlantic participating in any measure. However, capitalize the bank so that the bank can go into those measure discussions on an equal footing with TTB and EcoBank. Samson, we had started the capitalization quest as far back as 2009. țhre, the largest shareholder at the time, was never interested in putting any money in First Atlantic Bank anymore. But because of that representation, the next day they submitted a check to pay for additional equity in First Atlantic to enable them dispose of it to EcoBank. Coincidentally, we had engaged EM Capital, headed by Mr. Michael Sean, to help us capitalize the bank. And they had submitted some investment proposal from Kedari nominees from Nigeria. That shareholders meeting, when they approved the acquisition of shares by țhre, which would have taken them to 90% holding in the bank, also approved the Kedari transaction. And so, post that approval of those two investments, țhre's stake reduced to less than 50%, such that they could not force the measure between First Atlantic, TTB, and EcoBank. That's why they went ahead to do the measure with only EcoBank and Trust Bank. And subsequently used the Bank of Ghana to hoodwink Kedari to buy țhre out as part of the approval process, because significant shareholding, you need Bank of Ghana approval before you can your shareholding can be accepted. But it was an investment decision that țhre had taken at the time, that they were no longer interested in investing in banks because it was not returning sufficient enough return according to them to the fund.